Alrighty, if you click this video, that means we are going to take you through the POS, how to make POS items, how to check out within the POS. So this is going to be semi-long video, but it's super easy to do, and I'll show you how it's done. I'll show you how it's done. So for starters, we're going to actually go on this left sidebar, and I do want to show you the functions of the POS and how to work it. Once you have all of your items within the operations tab, which I'll get to, you will have a bunch of items located here. For starters, we can search up an item. We can filter items within categories. And we can sort alphabetically, pricing highest to lowest, all of that good stuff. In order to get an item over onto the POS so you can check out, all you have to do is click. Once you click, you will get your order summary. And you'll be good to go. You do have the option to add a custom charge. So if this is a POS item that is not on the POS, you can actually customize a set charge. You can add a discount if you have any discounts that are available. You have the option to include a merchandise tax or not. Check out of that. For a barcode scanner, with the scanner that you receive with the POS, you can actually scan the UPC code on the product and it will automatically come up here for you. This is going to be some of those larger campgrounds that has 50 items plus, sometimes 25 items plus, but it's really useful if you have a hoodie or some type of merchandise and you can scan it and it'll come right up here. Now, I'm going to switch over to these little icons right here. You'll see there's low stock. You'll see how much stock is in of that product. We do recommend for our campgrounds to keep track of what you have. That way it's going to be so much easier to apply inventory and seeing what you do have, what you don't have, things like that. Now, there is 4 ways to pay within a POS. You can add it to a checked-in reservation, which is pretty neat. So if I had Randy Orton in here on spot 32, I can add this to their reservation. It's going to come up with the total of what that is going to be, and you can add it here. You can always do cash. It's going to show you the amount given versus the amount due. If they have a check, you can always pay with check. And lastly, your credit. We do have a credit card tap, chip, swipe scanner. So all you actually have to do is click here. You'll be able to tap that. Your guests will tap that card and they'll be good to go. Once you do create a transaction, we hold all of these transactions over here in this tab. You'll be able to see any transaction that you have made, whether it's cash, check, credit, adding it to a reservation. You'll be able to see this here. You can always view more details about that transaction, and you can also print that off if you need to. Now that we've had a deeper dive into the POS functions, let's go ahead and build an item. We're going to head over to the Operations tab. You can see that I have 3 different categories located here. Just for fun, let's go ahead and make a new category and a new item. You're going to click this gear icon, and you're going to come up with a category. So for this category, let's go ahead and do just a test category. Since this is a test, we're going to go ahead and hit save and adding new. So we see our test category hasn't been made, but there are no products in here. So let's go ahead and make a product. We're going to hit new POS item. For this item, we can do anything we want. So let's just go ahead and do toys. We're going to select from this category and we're going to use our test and we're going to create the item. Once we created the item, we see that it is in here, toys are in here, and now we can fill out our information for this item. So for the toys, for the amount, let's go ahead and do a $5 amount. We know that this is an item. We know that the category is test. If you have any notes you'd like to put in, you can. For this section right here, options. So the best way I can explain this options section is an example because I'm visual. So if you have golf carts and you have a two-person golf cart and you want to rent this out for 2 hours, you can do two-person golf cart 2 hours. And then we can go ahead, update a new price if we want, and we could do $20. And then we can add an additional option. So let's say we have a golf cart for 4 hours. That is going to up the price to $40. So if you have an item that is going to have multiple different options and different pricing, you are able to do that through our POS. Over here in the settings, very self-explanatory here. If you want to hide this item online, you can. There are some items that you can present online if you'd like to for checkout for your guests if you have online booking. Mandatory, if you have an item that is mandatory for all guests to have. A great example that I can think of, maybe you require all guests to purchase firewood, and that's going to be mandatory. You can click this here, and no matter what, that $5 price is always going to be attached to this item or to a reservation. One item per reservation. So if you have this specific item that can only be purchased once per guest, that's where you would do that here. We have charge versus discount. So we have non-exempt versus exempt. And then we can scroll down here, and here's some more item details for you. Short key, if you need that. I remember talking about the UPC code. So if you have the scanner that you purchased, you can easily scan it, and that UPC code will come up right here. That way, when you are checking out, all you have to do is scan, and that item will come up. Inventory, like I said, this is important. If you don't want to keep track of inventory, that is A-OK. We can make sure to put in the settings that you don't need an inventory for this item. But it is a good way to keep track. Par level, par level is just going to tell you if I were to have 8 items and I put a par level at 3, that means when that item is at 3, it's going to let you know, hey, we're low on this item. We need to go and get more. And that is it on how to make an item and use the POS. And that's all there is to it. POS is pretty easy for all our campgrounds. So don't forget, please let me know if you have any questions, and have a great rest of the day.